Good morning, boys and girls. You're watching this lesson quite simply because I think that you are going to be able to pick this up much quicker, and so we're going to move through this lesson quicker for you guys and get onto some harder activities sooner. This lesson is a subtraction lesson. And you know that when you are subtracting, what you're actually doing is taking away, you are making less, and you are finding the difference. Those words are very important. You are taking away. You are finding less or less than. And you are finding the difference. Let's get started. Today when you subtract, you'll be subtracting with what's called regrouping. Let's have a look at what that means. Firstly, I'm going to give you an example. If we start with a very small, very easy example, it is 32, take away 16. Just as always, when we're doing an addition or a subtraction, we start on the right-hand side. So we're starting in our ones house. And in our ones house, we can see that we have 2 take away 6. Now we can't do that. It's like saying I have 2 apples and I want to eat 6 of them. Or I have 2 chocolates and I want to give 6 away. It's not possible to do that. So what we have to do is go next door. We're going to go next door to the tens house. We're going to ask the people in the tens house if we can borrow one of them. So the first thing we do is knock. Hello, just wondering if I can borrow one of you, please. Now, of course, they say yes because they are just lovely people. So what we do is we cross out the 3, and now there's only 2 left in there because we've asked to borrow one and they said we could. We take that 1 back here, and now instead of 2 ones, we have 12 ones. And so what we do is 12 minus 6 gives us 6. After that, we can move on to the tens house. And you can see straight away in the tens house, we have 2 take away 1. We did have 3 take away 1, but remember, somebody from our house went next door to help them out. So now with our 2 take away 1, we know we can do that. 2 take away 1 gives us 1. Our answer is therefore 16. I want you to watch me do that again. Here we have the question 306, take away 142. Straight away, we're going to start with the ones house. On this occasion, it's very simple. 6 take away 2. I have 6 apples, I want to eat 2 of them, I can do that. It leaves me with 4. So then I move to the tens house. I have 0, and I want to take away 4. If we think about that, I have 0 dogs, and I want to give away 4. I have 0 chocolates, and I want to give out 4 of them. I have 0 lollies, and I want to eat 4 of them. We can't do that. We can't eat 4, take 4, or give 4 if we have 0. So we have to go next door and ask our friends in the hundreds house if we can have one. So we knock. Hello, just wondering if I can borrow one of you, because we don't have any and we just need some. Now they have 3, so they say no problem, you can borrow one of us. So we cross it out and we make it a 2, and then we come back over here to the tens house. We put that 1 next to the 0, so now we have 10. 10 take away 4 gives us 6. Then we move on to the hundreds house, and you can see we now have 2 take away 1. 2 take away 1 is 1. So the biggest difference with this question is that you are having to go next door to borrow because you don't have enough to take away from. I want you to try one. So we're going to go to the next page now and try an example for yourself. Get your whiteboards and your markers ready. I want you to write this subtraction down. 72 take away 35. Don't forget your underline and your subtraction symbol. Alright, what house do we start with? That's correct, we start with the ones house. In the ones house it says we have 2 take away 5. That means I have 2 apples and I want to eat 5 of them. Can I do that? No, you're right, I can't. So what I want you to do is go next door. Could you please knock on their door and ask them if you could borrow one? Of course, they have 7, so they're going to say yes. Now, when you take one of theirs next door, they no longer have 7. Instead of 7, they now have, that's right, 6. And you no longer have 2, you actually have, put a 1 next to the 2, 12. Take some time now and copy that down. Make sure you've got it all written up correctly. Now we can do 12, take away 5. What's the answer to 12, take away 5? That's right, it's 7. So now we can move into the tens house. And in the tens house we can see we now have, instead of 7, 6 take away 3, because one of those went next door. And that we know we can do. For example, if I had 6 apples and I wanted to eat 3, I could do that. So everyone, 6 take away 3 is? That's right, it's 3. And our answer is 37. It's time for you to try one now. I'm going to write it up, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to go ahead and do it by yourself. I want you to copy down 43, take away 19. Remember to start in the ones house. Remember to check if you can actually do that takeaway, and if you can't, go next door and borrow. Press pause and have a go at solving that now. Great, you've had a go at that. Let's go through the answer. Remember, you start in the ones house, you do 3 take away 9, you can't do that, so you go next door and you need to borrow from the tens house, making it 3 instead of 4, and this 13 instead of 3. 13 take away 9 gives us 4. Then, what you need to do is work on the tens house, and you have 3 take away 1. That gives you 2. If your answer was 24, congratulations, you did very well. What about your boards now? Here's the next one. Again, I want you to try this one by yourself. This time, we're going to do 306, take away 122. I want you to press pause and give that a go. Remember, if you can't solve it, just go back in the video and watch one of the other examples. Then come back and give it another go. Press pause now. Starting in the ones house, we have 6 take away 2. 6 take 2 is 4. That was easy. Now we go to the tens house. We have 0 take away 2. That's like saying I have 0 apples and I want to eat 2 of them. I can't do that, so I go next door, I knock on their door, and I ask to borrow one. They've got 3, so they say that's okay. So they go down to 2, and now I have 10 instead of 2. 10 take away 2 is 8. Now what I do is I go to the hundreds house, and I have 2 take away 1. 2 take away 1 is 1. My answer is 184. Well done, boys and girls. We've just been doing some subtraction with regrouping. The regrouping, is where we go next door to borrow. You're going to practice that now just to make sure you know what you're doing. You've got the worksheet there. Away you go, get started.